Level 1. The clean face. At the first level, at 18 years old, you are the clean face of the organization, a pawn with the appearance of a law-abiding citizen, yet the beginning of a deadly supply chain. You might be a young adult just reaching maturity in need of tuition money, or a middle-aged man with a spotless record but drowning in debt. Your job is twofold: the straw purchaser and the scout. As the straw purchaser, you walk into legal gun stores looking your most polite, signing federal background check forms to buy handguns or semi-automatic rifles. You receive a few $100s for each successful transaction, an amount equivalent to a week of back-breaking warehouse work, but it only costs you 15 minutes of signing your name. You reassure yourself that you're doing nothing wrong. I'm just buying for a friend. But the moment you step out of the store, your role shifts to the scout. You sit behind the wheel of a clean car, driving a few kilometers ahead of the cargo convoy on deserted highways or cross-border trails. Your mission is to observe a patrol car parked on the shoulder, a sobriety checkpoint, or unusual flashing lights ahead. A coded signal from your phone determines whether the multi-million-dollar shipment behind you proceeds or vanishes into the darkness. The nature of the risk here is indirect legal risk. You aren't pulling the trigger, but your fingerprints and name are on the records of weapons regulatory agencies. When a gun you purchased is seized at the scene of a gang massacre or a political assassination, the first name that pops up on the police computer is yours. So you are the organization's cheapest layer of protection. If caught, they will cut ties immediately. You stand on the thin line between an ordinary citizen and an accomplice to crime, trading your future for a few scraps of cash without realizing you've signed your own death warrant. Level 2. The runner. After your name hits the police blacklist because a favor gun was left at a crime scene, you are no longer a clean citizen. The broker throws a stack of cash at you to hire a lawyer, but it comes with a condition. You owe the family. Now it's time to pay it back behind the wheel. There is no turning back. The nature of the risk has completely shifted from indirect paperwork to on-site risk. Caught red-handed. Now, at 22, so you are reckless enough to floor the accelerator on empty roads, but mature enough to understand your freedom is hanging in the balance. You are sitting directly on a mobile armory. Your vehicle has been sophisticatedly modified by technicians. Handguns stuffed into the ceiling liner, blood, if it must be spilled, ready to flow during an encounter, ammunition in fake fuel tanks, and disassembled AR-15s hidden tightly in secret compartments behind the driver's seat. Every mile on the highway is a breathtaking battle of wits. You must learn to drive like a ghost, not too fast to be ticketed, not too slow to arouse suspicion. You look at the rearview mirror more than the road ahead. When the blue and red lights of a patrol car flash in the distance, your heart beats so hard it feels like it might burst. At this level, if detected by K-9 units, and you face decades in prison immediately with no way to deny the crime. You are the lifeblood of the organization, but the most expendable link. The organization pays you a few $1,000s per trip, a large sum, but a mere grain of sand compared to the million-dollar cargo you carry. If the goods are lost due to an accident or seizure, you face not only prison, but also brutal punishment from the family for the loss of assets. You are lone wolf on the long road, trading your freedom every second to deliver these tools of death to the rendezvous point. You realize you have officially become part of the underground war machine. Level 3. The armorer. The turning point happens on a rain-soaked night when your transport vehicle suffers an electrical failure in the middle of the highway. While struggling, you personally disassemble the dashboard, rewire the systems, and fine-tune the locking mechanism of the secret compartment so fast that the accompanying capo is stunned. He realizes your hands shouldn't be on a steering wheel. They should be holding a grinder. You have ascended to a new level, the armorer. You step out of the danger of the transport route and into the danger of the workshop. The nature of risk has changed, from on-site risk to manufacturing and evidence risk. Now, at 26, you live in basements reeking of machine oil and metal dust. You no longer race against traffic police, you race against time to turn piles of iron into killing machines. Your mission is to scrub serial numbers so weapons become anonymous, convert semi-automatics to full auto, or assemble ghost guns from untraceable parts. Every scream of the grinder is another layer of your remaining integrity being shaved away. If blood is to be spilled from these barrels, your fingerprints won't be on them, but your technical signature is everywhere. Your workshop is a massive, undeniable piece of evidence. If a raid occurs, those steel blanks and lathes will send you straight to federal prison for illegal manufacturing of military-grade weapons. You are a valuable asset, paid a handsome fixed salary, and living under the organization's strict protection, but you are also someone who knows too much. Level 4, the broker and enforcer. The horrific incident strikes during a delivery night at an abandoned pier, when a partner suddenly double-crosses you and opens fire to hijack the shipment of ghost guns you just completed. Amidst the whistling bullets and thick gunpowder smoke, you are forced to pick up the AR-15 you modified yourself to fire back, protecting your life and the family's assets. Seeing the blood soak into the cold concrete floor, you understand that your mechanic hands are now officially stained with violence. You no longer hide in the dark workshop, but step into the light to directly coordinate and protect transactions. The nature of risk has changed, from evidence risk to encounter and purge risk. Now, at 32, your face is etched with the scars of ruthlessness. You aren't just the one connecting the needs of drug cartels with the family's supply via encrypted phones. You are the enforcement mechanism paid in blood. Your power lies in your threatening presence at delivery points at 3 a.m. You stand there, eyes dry and cold, watching every movement of the partners, hand always near your holster. You don't just fear the police, you fear betrayal from those standing right across from you. Every successful deal brings a massive commission, enough for a lavish life, but the price is extreme paranoia. You cannot trust anyone, including the associates under you. You realize you are no longer making tools for killing. You have become the organization's most expensive killing tool. Level 5. The Logistics Manager. After breathless nights by the gun barrels at harbor warehouses, you realize that violence is just a crude tool. Real power lies in freight declarations and the numbers on a computer screen. When the old boss is caught in a heavy police sweep, you don't run. You choose to fill the leadership void with an eerie calmness. You shed the blood-stained leather jacket to don the tailored suit of a successful import-export businessman. The nature of risk has shifted entirely, from blood-soaked encounters to systemic risk, RICO Act. Now, at 38, you are no longer at the scene of the deal. You sit in grade A offices, coordinating thousands of rifles across oceans under the guise of agricultural machinery parts or medical equipment. You are the one setting up shell companies, bribing key links in customs, and designing shipping routes that even satellites struggle to detect. One signature from you can arm an anti-government army on the other side of the hemisphere. The danger now doesn't come from stray bullets, but from financial agents silently tracing the money flow. You live in a perfect cover, an exemplary father, a generous philanthropist. But in reality, you are the backbone keeping the entire criminal network from collapsing. Level 6. The Political Liaison. When your weapon containers have covered every hotspot on the map, you understand that money or warehouses are no longer the barriers. The rules of those in power are, instead of hiding from the crackdown, you choose to walk straight into elite dinner parties where policies are shaped by discreet handshakes. You are no longer a hunted criminal. You have become an indispensable strategic partner to the most powerful people. The nature of risk has shifted to a new extreme, betrayal and political risk. Now, at 45, you are a shadow diplomat. You dine with military generals, lobby politicians, and fund election campaigns with massive amounts of money laundered through a series of charitable foundations. Your mission is to buy the silence of the legal system, create green zones for smuggled shipments, and obtain forged export licenses with official government red seals. One whisper from you can stall a federal investigation or turn a shipment of shoulder-fired missiles into relief medical supplies. However, this world is more brutal than any shootout. Here, loyalty only lasts until the next election cycle. You live in fear of being betrayed by the saints you serve to erase their tracks when the winds change. Level 7. The Merchant of Death. When national borders become too small for your ambition, you no longer serve any specific government or faction. You become the one who stands above all, coordinating the flow of death to reshape the world's geopolitical map. You have officially become a shadow entity, a manipulator of civil wars and large-scale armed conflicts. The nature of risk has now reached its peak. International risk, Interpol, and assassination. Now, at 55, you no longer appear in any civil records. You live on private islands or in fortresses guarded by former special forces. One phone call from you can provide thousands of manpads, armored vehicles, and tons of explosives to any embargoed nation. You are wealthy enough to buy an entire army, but the price is the relentless pursuit of the world's top intelligence agencies like the CIA or Mossad. The blood spilled in distant war zones is the cash flow into your pocket. You no longer fear indictments. You fear the drones hiding in the blue clouds. You are the supreme ghost, the one behind the ruins who never leaves a trace. The loneliness at this peak is devastatingly brutal, for you realize you have become a symbol of destruction, a man the whole world both fears and hungers to eliminate to reset the order.